This piece originally appeared in the Brooklyn Eagle newspaper. It was written by the author Joseph Burt Smiley. He was a newspaper reporter for the Brooklyn Eagle in the 1930s. He also had a nagging question, and he didn't understand exactly what this question was. It's a question that a lot of people talk about even today, and it's from the scriptures, and it is the question of, what is the last shall be first, and the first shall be last mean? St. Peter at the pearly gate. St. Peter stood at the golden gate with solemn air, mien and air sedate, when up to the top of the golden stair, a man and a woman ascending there, applied for admission. They came and they stood before St. Peter, so great and good, in hopes the city of peace to win. He asked St. Peter to please let them in. The woman was tall and lank and thin, with a scraggly beardlet upon her chin. The man was stout and thick and stout and short. His stomach was built and it rounded out. His face was pleasant, with a smile, so kindly he wore that pleasant smile. The choirs in the distance, the echoes awoke, and the man kept silent while the woman spoke. "O thou who guards the gate," she said, "we too came hither beseeching thee to let us enter the heavenly land and play our harps with the angel band. Of me, St. Peter, there is no doubt. There is nothing from heaven to bar me out. I've been to meeting 3 times a week, and almost always I'd stand and I'd speak. I've told the sinners there about the day when they repent of their evil way. I've told my neighbors and I've told 'em all about Adam and Eve and the primal fall. I've shown them what they'd have to do. I've marked their path of duty clear, laid out the plan for their whole career. I've talked and talked 'em loud and long, for my lungs are good and my voice is strong. St. Peter's so good you'll clearly see the gate of heaven is open for me, but my old man, I regret to say, he hasn't walked in exactly the narrow way. He smokes and he swears and he's grave faults that he's got. I don't know whether he'll pass or not. He never would pray with an earnest vim, or go to revival, or even join in a hymn. So I had to leave him in sorrow there, while I with the chosen united in prayer. He ate what the pantry chanced to afford, while I in my purity sang to the Lord. And if cucumbers were all he got, it's a chance he merited them, or not. But oh, St. Peter, I love him so. To the pleasures of heaven, please let him go. I've done enough. A saint I've been. Won't that atone? Can't you let him in? By my grim gospel, I know 'tis so that the unrepentant must try below. But isn't there some way you can see that he may enter who's so dear to me? It's narrow gospel by which I pray, but the chosen expect to find some way of coaxing or fooling or bribing you so that their own relations can amble through. And say, St. Peter, it seems to me the gate isn't kept as it ought to be. You ought to stand by the opening there and never ever sit in that easy chair. And say, St. Peter, my sight is dimmed, but I don't like the way your whiskers are trimmed. They're cut too wide, an outward toss. They look better narrow and cut straight across. Well, we must be going, our crown to win, so open, St. Peter, and just let us in. St. Peter sat quiet and stroked his staff. But in spite of his office, he had to laugh. Ho, 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 ho! Who's guarding this gateway, you or I? Then he arose in his stature tall, and he pressed a button on the wall, and said to the imp who aglow did appear, escort this woman to the regions below. The man stood still as a piece of stone, stood sadly and gloomily there all alone. A lifelong idea he had that his wife was good and he was bad. That he thought if the woman went down below, that he would certainly have to go, that if she went to the regions dim, there wasn't a ghost of a chance for him. Slowly he turned, by habit bent, to follow wherever the woman went. St. Peter, standing by the duty there, observed the top of his head. It was bare. He called the gentleman back and said, "Friend, how long have you been wed?" 30 years. Why? He said. St. Peter was silent, with his head bent down. He raised his hand to scratch his crown. There seeming a different thought to take, slowly half to himself he spake, 30 years with that woman there. No wonder the man hasn't any hair. Swearing is wicked, smoking isn't good. He smoked and he swore. Well, I should think he would. 30 years with the tongue so sharp? Oh, Angel Gabriel, go give him a harp, a jeweled harp and a golden string. Good sir, pass in where the angels sing. Gabriel, give him a seat alone, one with a cushion, up near the throne. Call up some angels to play their best. Let him enjoy the music and rest. See that on the finest ambrosia he feeds, he's had about all the hell he needs. It isn't just hardly the thing to do, to roast him on earth and in the future too. They gave him a harp with golden strings, a glittering robe, and a pair of wings. And he said as he entered the realms of day, "Well, this beats cucumbers anyway." And so the scriptures had come to pass. The last shall be first, the first shall be last.